dynamics. And while other manufacturers are content to coast along, Arrow continues to speed down the fast track that's advanced our coaster technology light years beyond anyone else. In fact, we've helped America's most exciting parks have record-breaking attendance for the past 20 years. Busch Gardens Williamsburg cranked up the heat to a scorching new level when they unleashed Arrow's Drachen Fire. A mile-long ride on the back of this tubular steel dragon will fire up even the coolest coaster fan. Rising 150 feet and blistering the tracks at speeds of over 60 miles an hour, the Drachen Fire offers riders some uniquely terrifying new twists and turns. As the Drachen Fire roars underway, riders are rocketed 150 feet up into the sky. When they reach the peak, the dragon really vents its fury with a 55-foot plunge through a wraparound corkscrew, followed by a spiraling 130-foot headlong dive to the ground. As the medieval monster streaks to the top of the high-speed hump, riders experience a momentary feeling of near-zero gravity. But there's no time to moonwalk now, as the Drachen Fire blazes through the surfer's curl, and 2 more corkscrews before the final frantic finale, a furious 360-degree spiral. Drachen Fire from Aerodynamics. The monster has left its lair and is now the hottest ticket in town at Busch Gardens Williamsburg.
Welcome back, Coaster Nerd fans, for the second episode of Season 2 of Defunct Coasters. And today we're going to be going into Drachen Fire, which was an Aerodynamics multi-looping coaster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg in Williamsburg, Virginia. It operated from 1992 all the way into the middle of the season of 1998. This was the third Aerodynamics coaster that was built at the park behind Loch Ness Monster and the Big Bad Wolf. And it was right behind the Big Bad Wolf in its own little section. And the tagline for the ride was, "Feel the heat." And this was basically Arrow's thing for trying to come back from B&M taking over their industry. And they were trying to do everything exactly like what B&M had been doing, which they incredibly failed on, and would be the last time they tried copying B&M, which would officially lead them to bankruptcy. Anyway, Drachen Fire was 150 feet, which is 46 meters high. The length was 3,550 feet long, and in meters, that is 1,080 meters. The speed was 60 miles per hour, or 97 kilometers per hour. It had 6 inversions till 94, and then it only had 5 inversions from 94 all the way to when it closed. The height restriction was only 48 inches, believe it or not, and the ride was constructed, like I said, by Arrow. It drew lots of crowds, but this ride was notorious for its headbanging. If there is a ride with as much headbanging as Drachen Fire does, most people would say there's not a chance. There's even accounts of people saying it felt like it was trying to rip their neck off and completely snap their spine. That's how rough it is. And Drachen Fire's ride decreased with the park actually opening up a B&M roller coaster in 97, Alpengeist. And that's when they decided in 98 to close Drachen Fire down, because it was no longer worth putting the money into, and no one was going to ride it. 2001, my bad, they were testing Drachen Fire out, and a lot of people thought, hey, they could possibly be opening up Drachen Fire. But in 2002, they did take down the ride. They recycled the steel, and the station for Drachen Fire is still there. And it has been, since 2003, been used as a Halloween haunt exactly like at Gwazi Station. They've been using that for Halloween Haunt till this ride, Iron Gwazi came. Anyway, it was one of the first rides to have a wraparound corkscrew, which is basically going down the drop and then going into a corkscrew casually and then continuing down that drop. This is basically located in the Oktoberfest, and this never really won any rewards, obviously, because we'll probably only reward it whenever you win was the roughest and most trying to kill coaster in the world, by most people. So in those regards, the plot where Drakenfire has been used to stand has been very vacant. No one's really talked about what they could possibly be adding to that ride area till June of 2019, where there's accounts about a 355-foot coaster coming in, which would be Busch Gardens' first Giga coaster in that plot of land, which is supposed to be a launch coaster. Again, this is still all speculation. None of this has come out. The park hasn't said, "Hey, we are building a Giga coaster." That's still kind of just there. But to this day, as in 2020, May 2020, this ride is still, the area is still there, the station's still there, the maintenance shed's still there. The ride is gone, but they are starting to sell Drakenfire merchandise again, which is nice to keep that legacy of such a failed attraction alive. Anyway, if you guys like this video, leave a like, leave a comment, and we will see you guys out in the queues. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video, and we will see you out in the queues.